Hello everybody. In this video, we will try to understand the energy of Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra. Uttarabhadrapada is the Saturn Nakshatra. Compared to Pushyami and Anuradha, Uttarabhadrapada has more Saturnian energy. If you consider Pushyami, it is the seed of Saturn Nakshatra, and Anuradha is the flower of Saturn energy, and Uttarabhadrapada is actually the fruit of Saturn energy. Here, Saturn is completely refined. So, if you observe Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra, it starts from 3 degree 20 minutes of Pisces to 16 degree 40 minutes of Pisces. So any Saturn Nakshatra starts from 3 degree 20 minutes of a watery sign to 16 degree 40 minutes of the same watery sign. It extends. If you observe Pushyami Nakshatra, it starts from 3 degree 20 minutes of Cancer, which is a watery sign, and it extends till 16 degree 40 minutes of Cancer. That is a Pushyami Nakshatra. Right? So Pushyami is a Saturn Nakshatra, so it exhibits the behavior we said. And the same thing happens with Anuradha Nakshatra. So Anuradha is another Saturn Nakshatra. It also ranges from 3 degree 20 minutes of the watery sign Scorpio, and it extends till 16 degree 40 minutes of the same watery sign Scorpio. And Pisces, which is a form of celestial waters, and it's a watery sign, consists of Uttarabhadrapada at its core, and Uttarabhadrapada varies from 3 degree 20 minutes of Pisces to 16 degree 40 minutes of Pisces. Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra consists of two stars. So every Nakshatra basically consists of some group of stars. Uttarabhadrapada consists of two stars. Among these two stars, you can find one star in the Pegasus, another star in Andromeda. So these two stars have the brightness of 2.84 and 2.06. That is the visual magnitude. So visual magnitude and brightness have inverse relationship. So if the visual magnitude is more, the brightness is lesser, and if the visual magnitude is lesser, then the brightness is more. Now, Uttarabhadrapada meaning is the later lucky feet, or it actually represents the back feet of a deathbed, you can say, or a funeral bed. So it mainly connects to the celestial energy. If you observe the previous nakshatra to Uttarabhadrapada nakshatra, that is Purva Bhadrapada. So Purva Bhadrapada basically represents the front legs of the funeral bed or the funeral cot, and Uttara Bhadrapada represents the later or the back foot of the funeral bed or funeral cot. So these all Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada, these are all related to moksha or related to Kundalini complete awakening. So these are all related to the spirituality. Uttara Bhadrapada basically is a very, very calm and quiet nakshatra. So it doesn't mean that if your moon is in Uttara Bhadrapada, you are always quiet and calm. It's not that. Other positions like Mars and Rahu, they also matter in your horoscope, but I'm only talking about the Uttara Bhadrapada energy here. So Uttara Bhadrapada, the Lord is Saturn. So just imagine the Saturn's slow and steady behavior and the disciplined behavior is very much seen in Uttara Bhadrapada, in this particular nakshatra. So this nakshatra is like a hidden serpent under a big ocean. So it has lot of observation, lot of talent hidden. So whenever a planet like Sun, Jupiter, Mars, right? If this kind of planets are Rahu even more, right? If this kind of planets present in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, then the inert energy that is completely hidden inside can be taken up. Otherwise, the talent would always, or the skills, or the kind of wisdom the person has is going to be completely covered up and it can never be taken up. So it's basically a funeral cart representation and actually the back legs of the funeral cart, and it is showing the exit from the world. You can see Pisces is the spiritual sign, it is the final sign, right? So that's where this exit from the world concept is coming. So this particular nakshatra forms the heart of the sign Pisces. It's very much easy to say that this particular energy is completely related to the final stage, or you can say when a person is in final stage, how he behaves. He has a lot of experiences, he has some wisdom, right? Definitely. And he has some slow and steady behavior because he has undergone through so many difficulties, experiences in his life. So he becomes very much, he observes more, right? He thinks very systematically, steadily. So this kind of behavior you can observe in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. So in a way, it represents our initial state after death. So that kind of energy you can observe here. So means at the old age or after death, that kind of wisdom. So after death, what happens? The soul just connects to the celestial world. So that process is also you can associate with Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now, Uttara Bhadrapada also represents a deep sleep state, very, very deep sleep state. So where even you don't have any kind of dreams also, that kind of state also can be represented by Uttara Bhadrapada. Of course, some astrologers also associate some kind of dreaming, varieties of dreaming, varieties of imagination with Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. because it is the final nakshatra, means just before Revati, of course. Revati is the final nakshatra, but it is in the final sign Pisces. So it's always about dreaming, deep sleep, right? And also it it is very compassionate, generally you will say, right? So, other than this back legs of funeral god, there is another symbolism for this, that is a serpent with two and a half coil. So, that is, you can find that in so many uh, temples, and that basically represents a Kundalini energy. So, Kundalini energy is the primeval life force lying at the base of our spine. So, this particular nakshatra symbolizes enlightenment through the awakening of all the seven chakras of our body through the movement of the Kundalini. So, this Kundalini seed you can observe in the Aslesha Nakshatra, and the actual Kundalini movement starts in Anuradha Nakshatra. So, Anuradha is very much famous for this Kundalini movement. And then the movement more enhances and fructifies in Purva Bhadrapada, and then in Uttarabhadrapada it reaches its final stage, or you can say the Sahasrara Chakra, the final chakra, right? Now, what is the deity of Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra in order to understand its energy more? So, what we are talking when we are uh, thinking about Uttarabhadrapada, we are talking about the Saturnian discipline, the calmness and the quietness. We are not at all talking about aggressiveness here. Observed, right? So we are talking about the wisdom, and the wisdom is also very it's something like the wisdom is infinite wisdom, but it is completely hidden because of the inertia it has, lot of inertia it has, right? The deity also shows the same. The deity of this nakshatra is Ahir Budhnya, right? So Ahir Budhnya, you can find uh, this particular representation, this particular god, you can say, in of course some of the Puranic stories, but not so many, right? Basically, it translates to serpent of the depths. So, a very good serpent, when it is completely hidden in the ocean, that particular serpent is the symbolism, or you can say it's actually the deity is Ahir Budhnya. So, serpent that lies beneath the surface of the earth also, right? So, under the earth, under the ocean, if you find a very good, strong serpent, that is this Uttarabhadrapada. Now, you can say this particular mysterious underwater serpent creature, when you say that, it's a mysterious one, it's completely underwater, and it's a serpent energy. So, in Hindu mythology or in astrology, the serpent is always related to the Kundalini stuff, the seven chakras. And this underwater stuff, the mysterious stuff, is something like a lot of hidden knowledge and a lot of celestial knowledge. The knowledge that normal people cannot possess. Such kind of knowledge can be represented with Uttarabhadrapada. But see, the peaks of Saturn energy is present here. So generally these people have a laziness. They are really lazy. even if they have wisdom, or let us say they are working in a lower level, the wisdom, they don't have wisdom, right? Whatever may be the case, they are lazy. They move quietly, calmly, right? So, but if a very good planet is present in Uttarabhadrapada, a planet like Sun, right? It has the capacity to remove that inertia, the Mars, right? Also Rahu, Sun, Mars, Rahu, this kind of planets, they can really bring the talent that is completely hidden underwater, right? So the serpent forces is always shown here. So the serpent forces actually related to the universal functioning, the universal plan. So they are very much related to uh, the psychology, also the spirituality, the slow and steadiness, right? Wisdom. So Ahir Budhya was actually seen as the deity responsible for maintaining the fertility of earth. That is one of the important things. So Uttarabhadrapada is famous for fertility. So whenever your fifth cusp in your horoscope or some fifth house energy is related with Uttarabhadrapada, then you may have more sons and grandsons, right? So that's a very famous prediction. When you have Uttarabhadrapada energy in the fifth house, some planet related to fifth house is in the Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra, then yes, right? You may have more number of uh, more progeny, you can say. So here the symbolism of a serpent lying at the core of the earth or lying underwater, right? So basically in ancient times, people used to say the Uttarabhadrapada energy actually maintaining the earth's structure and fertility also. So such kind of respect is given to this particular nakshatra, and at the same time, see, it is not a very great sexual nakshatra. It's the sexual energies here are balanced, not very high, not very low. It's just balanced, right? But fertility is good. That's what the Vedic literature or the astrological literature. In the astrological literature, you find this one. And you can find so many people with the fifth cusp energy or the fifth house energy associated with Uttarabhadrapada easily get some sons and grandsons. They have some kind of good progeny. Even the sons, if you observe the horoscope of such a native's son, that son also has something good in the fifth house, right? So the progeny can continue, the generations can continue to an extent, you can say that, because it's given a respect that the whole earth is actually maintaining its fertility and structure because of this energy, Uttarabhadrapada energy. So the Ahir Budhnya, which is actually the underwater mysterious serpent, is also shown in the middle of the earth as a symbolism for this particular nakshatra, implying that that particular serpent is responsible for the fertility and structure of the earth. So Ahir Budhnya is a more wise and compassionate deity. So the wisdom is always connected with Uttarabhadrapada, but the wisdom is hidden. And the wisdom is infinite as well. And compassionate, the deity is very much compassionate. A compassion is always associated with Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra. So its essential nature, if you observe, right, is very much related to Vishnu, Lord Vishnu's behavior, right? So something like having that compassion and having wisdom. So this wisdom and compassion, if you see these two, it's mainly related to the maintenance of the earth, even the fertility aspect of this nakshatra, showing the showing a very big symbolism, a very big serpent symbolism in the middle of the earth, and saying because of this the structure and fertility of the earth is maintained. It's just nothing but it's showing the Vishnu's energy associated with this nakshatra. So most of the times wherever Saturn energy comes into the picture, you also see the Vishnu's energy to an extent in that nakshatra because of that discipline, because for maintenance, to maintain anything, you need that discipline. Now, so it's a very compassionate nakshatra. And now, another symbolism, of course, it has that Vishnu's energy, but the symbolism is also the Shiva. Here, you can say the Uttarabhadrapada has both the Vishnu's energy and Shiva's energy. But why Shiva here? Because whenever there is a spirituality, meditation, this kind of things come into the picture, you talk about Shiva. Because Shiva is very much famous for its meditational stuff, the tantric stuff, right? So, its another symbolism is Lord Shiva, because the cosmos, when you talk about cosmos, meditation, also it is the final, it's of course, it's just before the final nakshatra Revati, but it is in the final sign. The final sign actually shows a dissolution, right? Srushti, Sthiti, Laya. So the Trinity aspect, the Srushti is done by, means the creation is actually done by Brahma, right? And the maintenance, the Sthiti, right, is actually, this particular thing is done by Lord Vishnu. And Laya, which is the dissolution or the destruction energy, is associated with Lord Shiva. So as it is the final sign, it is present in the heart of the final sign, right? So thereby the destruction energy is also represented by Uttarabhadrapada. See, there is a difference between the destruction aspect shown by Purvabhadrapada and the destruction aspect shown by Uttarabhadrapada. So Purvabhadrapada destruction is sometimes it is mindless and it is very impulsive and it involves some kind of cruelty also. But Uttarabhadrapada's destruction has some plan. It's some divine plan, some universal plan, right? So the destruction associated with Uttarabhadrapada is seen as a divine destruction, right? The destruction for a better society, for betterment, we say that. So Lord Shiva, Ahir Budhriya. So the destruction done by Lord Shiva is for a cause, for a better world. Same energy is associated with Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra. So what things we are discussing, the moment you say Uttarabhadrapada, you imagine an old figure like Rabindranath Tagore, So Rabindranath Tagore is a Nobel Prize winner from India, and his ascendant is present in Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra. So the same figure, the kind of calmness, quietness, disciplined behavior, right? You can imagine with Uttarabhadrapada. And Osho Rajanish has a Rahu in Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra. So this nakshatra is about maintaining that balance, that calmness, quietness. So when Saturn is matured, just imagine Saturn itself can give some kind of focus, concentration, discipline, meditation, all these things are associated with Saturn. When that Saturn is matured, just imagine the kind of energy. And you talk about the celestial waters, and you talk about a big snake which is completely hidden under the very, very big ocean. So it's a mysterious energy. That's why their plan is also a kind of mysterious. Uttarabhadrapada's plan is also mysterious. It's very difficult to completely explain their plan before it is implemented, right? Even their wisdom is also very much hidden. And see the wisdom of Rabindranath Tagore. It's unique, right? It's something like never, we never saw that kind of energy, the Rabindranath Tagore's energy, we never saw it before on the earth. Such kind of behavior, such kind of energy, right? So every Uttarabhadrapada's energy is a kind of, every Uttarabhadrapada native's energy is something mysterious. It's going to bring something new to the earth. Something new to the earth. Provided some planet which actually ignites this Uttarabhadrapada energy, right? Some planet must be present there. If there is no planet at all in the Uttarabhadrapada, especially planet like Sun, Mars, Rahu, they have the ability to completely remove that inertia and bring that mysterious underwater snake to the surface. And that mysterious snake, the underwater big snake, is the wisdom. It's not a simple snake. It's the divine wisdom. It's the greatest wisdom. It's a new thing for the world, for the earth. So such kind of energy you can actually see in this particular nakshatra. So Ayurveda, the deity associated with this particular nakshatra, fundamentally is Ayurveda is very wise, is compassionate. A compassion is another thing you can always associate with Uttarabhadrapada. So it's completely very hard to explain the exact plan or the exact behavior of this nakshatra, because every Uttarabhadrapada is something like it's a new gift to the earth, right? So if a person has a lot of Uttarabhadrapada energy, let us say 5 planets or 3 planets are present in Uttarabhadrapada itself, just imagine he has some unique wisdom that this earth has never seen before. So, because the wisdom is completely divine, and gifts, I said, the word I used, the word gifts. So, this Uttarabhadrapada is also very much famous to get gifts. It is, to an extent, it is very lucky also, right? Uh, it's very famous for getting gifts, receiving some kind of gifts, and also financially they may get luck at some point of time in their life. Financially, right? Even though they are lazy, are they can get some kind of financial luck. So a flexibility is very much seen in this nakshatra. It's something like it's a fixed nakshatra, right? It's a fixed nakshatra in the sense it's very much determined to achieve its goals. Determined. Yes, when Saturn is matured, just imagine an old figure who is actually having good enough experience to solve a task, to solve a problem, right? So, such a disciplined behavior, right, you can observe here. So, when the Uttara Bhadrapada is matured, so as the native's age goes up, you can see a matured person, a very well matured person you can observe in the native. So flexibility is to complete this task. The flexibility is also seen, and the determination to solve a task is shown here. So a wise old man is always imagined with respect to this particular nakshatra's energy. So they never act with, they never act hastily, you can say. They never act uh, with a lot of speed. You can just see the even if you observe Osho Rajneesh, he has that Rahu in Uttara Bhadrapada. So uh, I need to check where his Saturn is actually present. I think um, his Saturn is in 8th house. I'm not sure, but this Rahu is present in Uttara Bhadrapada for his chart, and you can also observe this energy in that man, right? So his way of explaining the things is also very steady and systematic with a lot of discipline, focus, and concentration, right? No haste, no speed, just a slow and steady nature you can observe. Even in Rabindranath Tagore, uh, you can observe the behavior, and the ascendant of Rabindranath Tagore is falling in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. So we will continue uh, understanding this nakshatra more in our next video. Thanks for watching this video.